Hello everyone and welcome to Scott Dunger's English. I'm Scott Dunger and I have been teaching English now for around 5 years. This is the third edition where we will be looking at a phrasal verb, an idiom, a word, something called the battle of words, which I'll explain later on, and we'll also be looking at a topic of the week. With the topic I will be giving my opinion, so stick around for that. Just before we get into this, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has liked, watched, shared and subscribed to the channel so far. It is much appreciated. I really do hope you are enjoying the videos and that you are learning from them. So let's hope you learn a lot today as well. Now we're going to be moving to the phrasal verb of the week, and it is wrap up. The definition is to arrange or fold as a cover or protection. So arrange or fold as a cover or protection. My example for you here is wrap up the sandwiches for our picnic later on. So wrap up the sandwiches for our picnic later on. Our phrasal verb of the week is wrap up. Now it's time to look at the idiom of the week, and our idiom of the week is cost an arm and a leg. Cost an arm and a leg, and our definition is something that costs a lot of money. Something that costs a lot of money. For instance, this pen. I could say this pen cost me an arm and a leg. It cost me £150. Would you believe it? £150 for this pen. Well, don't believe it because it's not true. But if I did spend a lot of money on this pen, it would potentially cost me an arm and a leg. And that is our idiom of the week. Costs an arm and a leg. Now we're going to be moving to the word of the week, which is braces. And as you can see, it is a noun. And the definition is a set of wires attached to a person's teeth to move them gradually in order to straighten them. So once again, a set of wires attached to a person's teeth to move them gradually in order to straighten them. So my example for you here is my sister has had braces since she was 16 years old. So my sister has had braces since she was 16 years old. Our word of the week is braces. Now we're going to be moving on to the battle of words for this week, and as promised I will tell you exactly what the battle of words is when we look at 2 or 3 words in the English language that are similar but not the same. This week we have 2 sets of words. So we have good night and good evening, very common words in the English language. Good night and good evening. We're going to begin with good evening, and the meaning is it is more formal to use, like in customer service, hospitality, etc. So when I say etc, this could mean formal speeches, this could be a news broadcast, so it is used more formally. So for instance, I watched the news last night and the news presenter said good evening to everyone. So I watched the news last night and the news presenter said good evening to everyone. So that is the first meaning. The second meaning is it is used as a greeting. If you're not sure what a greeting means, a greeting is when you welcome someone, when you say hello to someone, that is known as a greeting. So when you say good evening, it means that you're saying hello, you're welcoming this person. Good evening, how are you, for instance. Again, you're being a little bit formal if you say that, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with being a bit formal. Right, let's move to good night. So we have 2 meanings again. So the first one is when you or the other person is going to bed or leaving for the night. So when somebody has decided they want to go to bed or when they want to leave for the night, they can say good night. So at any time in the evening that this could be, when a person decides that they want to go to bed. So good night. Sorry, I need to finish the video. My mistake. So, good night would mean when a person wants to go to bed. I'm not going to go to bed yet. And the second meaning we have is it is not a greeting, but rather a goodbye. So it's not a greeting, but rather a goodbye. So this is when we would say goodbye to someone. Goodbye, see you soon. But we would be saying good night at the end of the evening. At the end of the night when we decide that we want to go to bed. So I said good night to my friends when I decided the night was over. So I said good night to my friends when I decided the night was over. Our battle of words for this week is good night and good evening. Now we're going to be moving to the topic of the week, which is it important to keep up with current events? So is it important to keep up with current events? Now, in my opinion, it is crucial to keep up with current events, especially in your town, your city, your community, and your country. So you know the latest of what is happening, so you don't miss any important news that is going on in the place that you live. However, I would not really care so much for news that I don't feel affects me. So if this is news that is happening in Brisbane, Australia, or this is news that is happening in South America, for instance, this is not news that necessarily interests me or news that I feel I need to keep up to date with. So I think you need some sort of proportion with the news you keep up to date with. Certain current events right now, we all want to know what's happening around the world. But I think we do need a balance, we need a proportion with what we keep up to date with. Just like our interests, the current events of football, for instance, is an interest of mine, and I want to know what is happening every single day. Whereas other people not interested in football might want to keep up to date with travelling, or keep up to date with politics, or keep up to date with celebrities. So everyone's different with what they want to keep up to date with. Now, that is our topic of the week. I'd love to see your comments below about the topic, about anything that you see here on the board. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, again, to subscribe, to like, and to share. It is much appreciated. Thank you so much for all your ongoing support. And I will see you very soon for the 4th edition of Scott Dunger's English. See you soon. Goodbye. Good night.